So let's have a look at the first of these success cases. Now, this actually arose from the CEO of this business. This is a division of GlaxoSmithKline. It's a little historical now, so I'm able to talk about it. But the CEO came on a senior executive course that I was running at London Business School, and we talked about how these dynamic models worked. A few days later, he called me up and said, "Look, I've got this problem. I think this approach could help." So he explained to me that this division of the business, what it offers is it sells travel vaccines. So when people go on holiday to exotic parts of the world, they're likely to catch, or not likely, but it is possible they would catch nasty diseases. So you go along to your general practitioner and they recommend and actually inject you with the necessary vaccine to protect you from these diseases. So this division has a range of these products for different diseases, and it has one particular competitor in this market. But this business, up until now, it's had the only licensed product for one particular disease. But what's happened is that in recent weeks, the competitor has announced that they've got approval for a rival product for exactly the same disease. Now, this is an intensely competitive industry. The marketing and sales activities here are very sharp and aggressive. And what's going to happen here is that the competitor's sales force is going to go to visit our physicians, the physicians who are providing patients with our vaccine. And this is such an important product for us and for them, potentially, that they are likely to get around all of our physicians in about 10 weeks. Now, this competitor has a track record of competing aggressively on price, typically 15-20% lower price than we charge, and they've got a larger sales force. So you can imagine my CEO friend is a bit worried about this, to the extent that his rough estimation is that if they don't figure out what to do here, they could lose up to 80% of the product revenue by the end of the travel season, when people buy these, mostly buy these products. And this is a big product in his portfolio. It accounts for nearly a third of the division's cash flow. So losing that fraction of the revenue and cash flow from this product would be extremely serious. And this is the pattern that we're looking at. We're looking at a sales pattern that starts to take off. So by April, the sales we would normally expect would be rising strongly. We expect them to rise to a peak after that time and then decline as the travel season wears on. So this is what my friend fears, that initially we will keep most of our sales because our competitor hasn't taken most of our customers just yet, but that isn't going to continue. They're going to progressively take more and more of our physicians until we end up with a big loss of sale by the end of the season. Now, notice here, most people, when you think about strategy, they think about long-term plans. This is a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year time horizon. This is 15 weeks. Right, from start to end. If we don't deal with this in that timescale, we are basically killed in this particular market. But it's definitely strategic. Look at the impact that it could have on my friend's divisional performance. So all strategic problems are not necessarily long-term ones. Sometimes they happen fast, and we've got to react quickly. So what actually did we do, and what was the outcome here? Well, my friend John came and spent an afternoon in the office with me, and we sketched out on the whiteboard how the structure of this problem might be laid out, and built a working model of how he could actually react to this. And what we came up with was a scenario of what I'll call here just right dynamic pricing. Now, it's very important to understand here, we're not saying here that this model is telling us we should change the price from A to B. It's telling us we should continually monitor and adjust the price through the discounts we offer as events unfold. This is a dynamic pricing solution. It's not a kind of game theory type, that the right answer is 42 kind of approach. Now, in addition to the dynamic pricing, the strategy included steps to resist the competitor's attack by undermining the credibility of their product in the marketplace and actually attacking the morale of the sales force. Now, their sales force has got other products that they sell, other products in the same sector. So if they don't actually manage to achieve what's shown here on the right and take these sales away from us, they're likely to lose their enthusiasm for this new product and start focusing their attention on the products they know they can sell normally. And the result here was that we definitely lost something. I mean, my friend did lose some sales and he did lose some profits, but way, way less than he might otherwise have done. So how does this all work? Well, this is a screenshot from a part of the model that I will show you shortly. And what it's showing on the right there is a chart of the gross profit that this product would be expected to generate over the 15 weeks of the peak season. And the red line is showing how much of that profit would be lost if we don't do anything. So the only profit we're left with is the gap there between the blue and the red line. And you can see below that the cumulative profit lost over that whole episode here is around 7.4 million euros. How does that happen? Well, it happens because of the chart we showed on the previous screen, that the sales that we would normally expect from the blue line there will get hit back and reduced to what the red line is showing. Why does that happen? That happens because the number of physicians who are taking our product rather than our competitors gets competed away. Those competing salespeople go and steal those customers from us. And just below that, there's a little chart that shows how much effort our competitor is putting into this product, what percentage of their sales force time is spent promoting this product rather than others. And you can see it starts pretty high, right up at 100%. They're putting all their effort onto this product. But as they are successful in taking our sales away, they start putting their effort back onto other products, basically because they've won. They've successfully taken our doctors away from us, our physicians away from us, so it's okay for them to turn their attention back to other products. And this is the price scenario on the left. So we expect them to come in at a price of 40 euros compared with our price of 50. So how might we change this? Well, this is one scenario that we've modelled through, which is following a purely price-led response. So the only lever we're pulling here is to change the price of our product by different amounts as time goes by. So the thick red line is the loss of profit under this scenario compared with the loss of profit we would have had in the base case, in the thin line. Now you'll notice, first of all, that we actually lose more money in the first few weeks than we would if we did nothing. That's simply because we have reduced the price, and that's reduced our margin on all of our sales. We could have, of course, actually go further and be more focused in our price response than this and price differently to different segments of customers. But this is a across-the-board price-led response. Why does that happen? Well, you can see that we're sustaining quite a large fraction of the sales that we would otherwise have expected to achieve in the thick red line there. We've lost something compared with the blue no competitor case, but we haven't lost anything like what we feared we would lose in the base case. Why did that happen? Well, because we protected our physicians, we protected our customers and kept our competitor away from stealing those physicians from us. Now, the important thing to look at is what happens in the little chart below that, because what that's saying is that our competitors' sales force have rather quickly decided that this product launch is not being as successful as they would like it to be, and they have rather quickly switched their effort back onto their other products and away from this one. So how did we achieve that with price only? Well, in the upper chart here, you can see the blue horizontal line at 50. That's our normal price. That's what we were charging. And just before our competitor launched, we dropped the price to, I think it's about 42 euros for a few weeks. And we didn't have to drop our price all the way down to theirs. We didn't have to come down right to 40 euros. We could be a little bit above that. But it was just enough to persuade our physicians that it wasn't really worth the bother, frankly, or worth the risk in switching to our competitor. And that, of course, is why we've lost quite a lot of profit in the right-hand chart between weeks 4, 7 and 8. What that then allows us to do at around week 9 is actually to stop discounting quite so much, put the price back up to around €46. And that means that we're actually getting back some profitability on our remaining sales, which is why the loss of profit on the right-hand side drops in week 9 and then stays at a lower loss of profit. Now, as I say, this is only a summary model. The full model dealt with rather more than this, and what it showed was that we could actually do better, even better than this, by looking for weaknesses in our competitor's product and making sure that the physicians are aware of those weaknesses. It might sound a little bit tough and aggressive, almost slightly unfair, but believe me, this is what happens in this industry. As I say, competition is extremely aggressive. There are a couple of other things we can do. This product actually needs to be refrigerated. There is a small refrigerator in doctors' offices, and what we encourage our salespeople to do is to go around our physicians before the season really starts to take off and offer them advance purchase terms to take delivery of more product than they actually need on a week-to-week basis and actually fill the fridge. So what happens then is that the competitor's salespeople go and call on the doctor and say, hello, we've got this great new product and it's cheaper. And the doctor says, oh, that's great, I'll be very happy to take that product. Only thing is, my fridge is full, so could you come back in 4 or 5 weeks' time when I might have some space to take your product? And I'm sure you can imagine that does no good at all to our competitor's sales force morale and commitment to this product, and it adds to that impact on the competitor's sales effort that they put on this product rather than the alternatives. So let me just switch over to the model itself and I'll show you how one of these things works. This is a screenshot of the model, and I can set this up to run. The lines you're looking at are the base case where the competitor launches and we don't do anything. One of the first things we could do is see what would happen if our competitor launched at different prices. So what would happen if they launched at a price of 46, let us say? Well, as we might expect, their commitment to the product is somewhat lower. We protect more of our physicians, we retain more of our sales, and the impact on our profit is less than it would otherwise be. So that's quite encouraging. But that's not what's actually going to happen. We know that they're going to come in at a low price. So let's see what would happen if we responded with a price of 45 when they launch their product. So here we are at week 5 when they're about to launch. Let's put our price in at 45 and just see how good that is. Now, this is not looking quite as good as the case I showed you on the slides a few moments ago. We are losing physicians pretty much at a similar rate to if we'd done nothing at all, and we're therefore losing sales quite substantially. But why would we have done that? Well, we would have priced at 45 rather than 42 because it's expensive to give away margin. But we would be getting quite worried now because we really are losing quite a lot of sales to our competitor. So maybe now's the time where we say, well, actually, we've got no choice. We've got to come down to a lower price. And if I just run that through to the end, we can see that does not do such a good job of protecting the sales and profitability of this product. Let me just zoom out a little bit and just show you the structure of the model that we're actually looking at. I'll just put things back the way they should be, and we've got a little structure here that's showing what's happening to the physicians. These are physicians taking our product at the left, and these are physicians taking our competitor's product at the right. This blue area is calculating what happens to our profit. The pink area is capturing the price competition, and the pale yellow area here is showing what our competitor's sales force is doing. There's also a little section down here in mauve which allows us to model the impact of finding problems with our competitor's product, but we don't have time to go into that right now. So what do these models actually do? That probably looked very unfamiliar to you. You won't have seen perhaps anything that looks quite like that before. But here's what's going on. Think of each item in this model as like a column in a spreadsheet with its name in the top cell and the 15 weeks values going down the cells in that column. And the curvy arrows there are like cell references. So the number of sales calls made by our competitor depends on how many sales calls are made in total and the percentage of effort that is put into this product. So inside that thing there, Rivals calls per week on this product, is a pretty simple language formula that the numerical value of Rivals calls per week on this product for any week is calculated from the total Rival sales calls per week multiplied by the percent of Rival sales effort that goes on this product. So that formula, that is actually the formula. It's not $1.28 multiplied by $D $36 or something. It is actual simple language formula. And I emphasised right at the start that we've got to start thinking about performance in terms of how things change over time. That means we've got to think about how everything changes over time. So the models have these charts showing how every item changes from week to week in this case. So this is a model that you can investigate yourself. You go to this link, sdl.re/vaccines1, so you can play this for yourself.